Hi folks, thanks for tuning in. I'm Mike, your host for the Security Silverback. In this first segment, I want to start with a quick introduction to what we're going to be doing with this series, fully expecting things to evolve over time. Now, I've been in IT professionally since the mid-1990s, and in cybersecurity since 2000. I've been a practitioner in operations, vulnerability research, and as a penetration tester. I also worked on the product side, doing education and demonstrations to present security concepts to people on pretty much every level. And I do mean every level. From people who just use their computers from day to day, to other practitioners, to upper management who need to understand what their cybersecurity teams were actually doing. Over the years, I've seen and dealt with some really crazy security incidents. I've also seen the technical landscape evolve quite a bit, both for attackers and the defenders. Keeping up with the changes can be tough. So what I aim to do here is a series that'll keep people abreast of what's going on. Of course, different audiences have different expectations. To keep folks engaged, I'm going to try and make sure that there's something for everyone in each episode, though some episodes are going to be more technical than others. Over the series, we're going to look at the new and relevant vulnerabilities, active exploits, recent incidents, and security trends. You're also not going to have to just see an old silverback each episode. After a couple decades in the industry, I've gotten to know a fair number of people who are practitioners, educators, and overall security mavens, and I'm hoping to get a few of them to join me here on the show. After all, it's usually a lot more entertaining and often informative to watch a conversation over just someone talking. For the first episode, though, it's just me, and I'm going to talk about something that cropped up on my feed the other day. It was an article from InfoWorld about AI Package Hallucinations. This isn't a new thing. I did a video on this in 2023 when I was working for Vulcan Cyber, after their research team published a blog describing the attack. As far as I know, it was the first time anyone described it, and I've included a link to the original blog post below. If you've never heard of AI Package Hallucinations before, let me give you a quick rundown on where the issue comes from and how a software supply chain attack can happen because of it. The root of the problem goes back to what's known as Large Language Model Hallucinations. These exist because LLMs are known to sometimes state facts that aren't actually facts. You know, alternative facts, or lies as they're more accurately known. The problem's been known for a while, and there have been some entertaining examples, like the law office who used ChatGPT to help write a brief, and the AI reference cases that didn't actually exist. I'm not going to go into depth on how the broader subject LLM hallucinations themselves, mostly because other folks have already covered the subject, though I might in a later episode on how they can affect the use of AI in cybersecurity. The issue here is package hallucinations specifically, and how they could lead to a supply chain attack. AI package hallucinations are a subspecies of the usual LLM hallucinations. Here, rather than returning some non-existent case law, it's returning with a package or library that doesn't exist. For example, we're working with ChatGPT, getting some help coding something that'll take a spreadsheet, convert it to a graph, then convert it to an SVG file that can port into our 3D modeling software. Why would we do that? No reason. It's just an example. But let's assume it works. AI delivers a block of code that includes a reference to a GitHub repository called Excel to SVG. Thing is, Excel to SVG doesn't exist. Never did. Tal's original blog post had some examples of this happening in practice. The attack vector here is the threat actor creating the package themselves, thus turning the hallucinated package into a real one. They might even fork an existing project and add their malicious code so the developer gets the functionality they were looking for without suspecting they've gotten dodgy code. Whether this is a viable attack isn't entirely clear though. So let's walk through what has to happen. I borrowed this flow diagram from Tal's original blog post. To make this attack land, the threat actor needs to find a hallucinated package themselves. Then they need to create the matching package, including their malicious code, and if they want to land the attack on the production software, make sure their package actually does what it says it does. Next, they need to hope some hapless developer has the same conversation with the AI so that they make the same recommendation. Finally, They have to hope the developer installs the package and never notices the malicious code themselves. There's a few places where this kill chain is kind of fragile. The attacker needs to not only find a hallucinated package that they can create and corrupt, they have to hope a developer also generates the same hallucination and then incorporates the corrupted package into their code. It could happen, but the probability is relatively low. It's also fairly easy to defend against. Fortunately, there are ways to defend against this attack, short of completely ignoring whatever assistance you could get from ChatGPT or its kin. GitHub already has tools in place to identify malicious repos, and there are vendors that have created an entire industry out of vetting third-party libraries. The challenge is the constant cat and mouse game threat actors play with the defenders. Every time we come up with a new defense, they're going to figure out how to work around it, like they've been doing for, well, ever. Ultimately, the best line of defense is the developer's own hands. Literally. And that gets summed up in 3 words. Vet your code. Even without reviewing the entire library download, you need to be asking a few questions. How old is this repo? How many people are using it? Do you know anyone talking about it? Does a quick review look at all dodgy? If it's new, no one's talking about it, and no one's using it, you really need to take a deeper look into the code. If you decide to drop it in anyway, make sure it's doing what you expect of it. More importantly, make sure it's not doing anything you don't expect. Is your new application sending traffic to some server you've never heard of before? Yeah, that's bad. In any case, this isn't to say you can't trust AI assistants. For the most part, you can. Even if a lot of AI-generated code looks like examples from a second semester coding class or something you'd find on a coder's forum and may not work, chances are the code's not compromised and whatever libraries it recommends are actually legit. You just need to make sure. So there you have it, AI Package Hallucinations and the basic defenses against them. If you like this, hit the like and subscribe buttons and let me know in the comments what you think. Also, if there's any subject you're especially interested in, let me know and we'll queue it up for a future episode. Until next time, stay safe.